I'm Trey B. Lion.
And I'm J. Mello the Great.
And you're listening to T&J's Child's Play.
We created this podcast to give young adults an escape from their daily lives.
But we're here to remind you that shit is still real, so wake the up.
I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
We like to highlight excellence in the young black community.
As well as give y'all some bomb advice and create a place where you can just kick it with us. Catch our show here every Thursday with some new content, and make sure to follow us on our social medias at T&J's Child's Play.
I can't leave you alone. I got this feeling.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
You know, I gotta start off with a song. Make me feel soulful. It's so soul. Oh.
This is perfect timing.
I wonder if they heard that in the podcast. Well, people are making it, they're making some noise in the library. They must have heard us start recording, so they wanted to make some noise. Give it up for T&J in the studio.
Or maybe they're realizing, oh shit, I forgot about that paper.
Yeah, it's paper
that
time.
Season
of the year.
Yeah, it's not really.
It's the season.
It's not really test time. It's paper time. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to give out paper.
Yeah, a paper here, a paper there. You
7
get a
to
paper.
9 pages, 4 to 5 pages, 2 to 3 pages. That's what my schedule is looking like. How
Yep.
about you, Trey?
My final paper. I don't know why it was this big of a range, but it was 5. It went from 5 to 20 pages. I'm like, what?
Wait, 5?
That was the range, 5 to 20 for the final.
What class is this?
This is crisis communication.
I knew it was some PR shit.
Yeah, 5 to 20, 5 to 20 pages. That's great. I'll take 5.
So, like, what is it on?
You're writing a crisis communication plan.
This is like a whole strategy
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
That's cool.
of how to handle a crisis. I wish I could write one of those for my life, because I have crisis every day. Yeah.
Okay.
But what's up? What's the latest?
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah, don't know if that's possible, but
Staying at rest. That's something
Yeah.
that you came up with.
better practice that. Staying at rest. So a good week for you.
Yeah, it's going pretty good so far.
That's Liddy in the city. It's going for me. It's going. It's a new week though. You know, we're almost through it. So give yourself a pat on the back.
Really, honestly.
Pat myself on the back. You're almost through it. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we tweeted, staying up through a dark time is difficult. So let's talk about it on today's podcast. That came from the heart. Really came from the heart. I feel like I've been walking through something. I feel like I'm in a tunnel right now, and I feel like it's really dark.
Okay.
Like it's really dark in the tunnel. This is what I was talking to my therapist about. And sometimes you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's like, oh, am I going the right direction? Am I going the right way? And it can be hard, you know. It can be hard to like stay focused, keep your head up, like going through a dark or difficult time. But I think the ultimate goal is to make sure that you don't stay there and that you are finding your way towards the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm being tested. A little nervous, a little scared, unsure about, you know, some of the things I'm going through, experiencing. So I'm just like feeling things out at this point. So yeah, I'm just things to keep me up, you know, like I, you know, read, and then I give myself like positive words of encouragement and like constantly to like keep myself up. I shut down like bad thoughts or ideas of my own, and not being accepting of anybody else's like negative thoughts or, you know, perceptions that they have. Like I said, I always protect that energy, and know that, hey, I'm freaking human. Like, you know, like I have these days where I'm not going to feel 100%, and like that's okay, but like don't stay there. And I feel like a lot of the times I end up staying there, and it's hard to get out. So I have to, you know, make sure I find positive ways. So some of the ways is to write everything out. Write everything out that's been bothering you for 15 to 30 minutes, like on a piece of paper. Like just write that shit out. And do this every day, and give yourself time to think about whatever's affecting you, and then say, hey, I'm releasing all this information. Everything that I'm worrying about or I'm dealing with at this time, whether it be that paper I'm stressing about, whatever, like I'm releasing all of these things that I feel like I'm dealing with, and I'm moving on to something better. Then you read yourself affirmations, and then you make up your plan for your next day. So, you go to bed, write these things out, 15, 30 minutes, whatever, and then you give yourself positive things that you're going to take on for the next day. And then when you wake up in the morning, you take those positive things that you already thought and you tackle those things, like throughout the day, start your day off, whatever, however your morning routine. But you keep in mind those positive things that you've already thought of the night before and you tackle those things. But yeah, I find myself struggling with that because it wouldn't be 15 to 30 minutes. It'll be an hour, then an hour would turn into 2 hours. And then I've noticed I'm in this dark hole and it's like, whoa, like all these thoughts and stuff is crowding me. And it's like, it's really overwhelming and it's a lot, like frustrating, like mental breakdown type thing. But just writing everything out 15 to 30 minutes and then coming back and saying, okay, here's my plan. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, these are things that I have going on, but I'm going to take these things one thing at a time. So, amen to therapy. Woo!
Yeah. But you see, the thing about it is, that's why I think the motto of the semester is self-reflection.
Yeah.
It really is. Because, everything that you're going through, you're not the only one who goes through it. Everybody goes through that. Let's be honest. And I feel that, let's take, for example, I might go home for break or whatnot, and we're doing a lot of amazing things, but just like you said, we get overwhelmed and we just think about the negative sometimes and we don't even think about the positive things that we have done.
Right.
And when I go home to my family and they have gatherings and whatnot, they tell me how much of just the social media and just the impact that we're doing helps them. And they listen to the podcast too. And it's actually a great recollection for them. Mm-hmm. And it's wow, people really do care.
Yeah.
And people really do see what I'm doing.
Yeah. And
their positive words shouldn't be something that I need to uplift. I should be able to uplift myself.
Right.
And for you to get there, it's going to take breaking yourself down. Just like you said with the writing, that's a part of that too. Yeah. Everybody has their different coping mechanisms and whatnot. Some people like going out. Yeah. Some people like going to the movies. Some people can paint. Yeah. Just do those types of things and reflect on yourself and look at the things that you can't control, because honestly, everything's not going to be 100%. Yeah. Self-reflection.
Yeah. And that whole breaking down piece, I find that is the hardest thing to do, because it's I don't know, it's like you're alone and you're by yourself and you're trying to break all of that down. Like you said, break all that down when yourself, and that's it's overwhelming. It's scary at times, and it's take a minute and breathe. I never thought that I would because I'm somebody who I feel like I have it all together. So when I get to those points and I'm in my head a lot and I'm overthinking, and it's scary for me because I'm thinking too much, and it's I just gotta chill out and step back and just really calm and chill out. It's okay. Just chill out, because
I think that I feel like everybody has anxiety and everybody can get depressed. Yeah. I feel like literally everybody can do that. Yeah. Now, how you get out of that or how you manage it is totally different. It's just I'll say mental health is like conflict. Yeah. You're always going to have it. I mean, I don't care if you're the most positive person in the world. You're going to have doubt one day. Yeah. But it's how you resolve it, because it's never going to be 100%. It's never going to be 100% resolved. Right. It has to be managed. Yeah. So if you know how to manage yourself and cope when things happen, then you'll be able to get through it easier.
Yeah. And it's easy for somebody else to tell you or walk you through your negative thoughts, but for you to actually walk yourself through negative thoughts and pick yourself back up, it's hard as hell to do. It's you're thinking about something negative, it's to shut that down, all right, no, positive, we're going back to positive. You can't feed yourself this negative thing, because if not, it'll consume you. And I watch myself go from okay, being this positive person, whatever, and staying at rest, to completely worrying about things that I have no control over. And it's you have to let those things go and let them be what they are, and then worry about yourself in the moment. It's a constant trying to pick yourself up when you're in a dark place, constantly picking yourself up or trying to feed yourself positive information. And it gets real tough. It gets real tough. But to find a method that works for you, like I said, I'm gonna try this 15 to 30 minutes before I go to bed, writing everything negative out. This is a venting session. You write everything out. You have allowed yourself to go to that place in your mind where you're just worrying, for 15 to 30 minutes, worry, and then release those things. Release those things and write out something positive. Write out your intentions for the next day, and then get up in the morning and tackle those things. What I would find myself doing is getting up in the morning and feeding myself negative things, and overwhelming myself with all these things that I have to do. And then it's now my day is now negative because I woke up worrying. Instead of me saying, okay, no, I've already worried the night before. Here are the positive things that I have to take on or accomplish, for this day. And this is what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do them. Like, that's a better, thought process or mindset to take on the day versus of waking up and saying, okay, here are all these things that I need to do, and, how am I going to get these things done? If you already write out a plan or whatever, it makes it easier.
I feel that.
Self-reflection. Yeah. And I know it's a lot of that this semester, a lot of that. And it's been tough, but I'm looking forward to, like, the growth that comes out of this, because, you go through everything. Like, my therapist is talking about a testimony. Like, you have no testimony without the test.
That's a good one.
In order to have this testimony of how, God brought you through whatever, you have to go through the tests and the trials and tribulations and the dark places. And And you also have to just prepare yourself, because I feel like, I'm not going to say the zodiac signs are straight BS, but to a certain extent, everything that the zodiac sign says for everybody, literally every sign has that problem too. So it said something about Pisces today. It was like, what did it say? Was it something about conflict? No, okay, that's what it was about. It was about, was it finding yourself? Hold up. Oh, yeah, okay. So it was like conflict and resolution, and then, like, nothing. Once you get to that, like, end goal, like, our end goal is, like, having a successful podcast, making a lot of money, being able to help people, we're still going to have problems. Mm-hmm. So it's like, at the end of the day, you're still going to have to prepare yourself to grow even more until you die. Because, I mean, once we even get to our end goal, it's like, okay, what else do we do? Yeah. Like a rapper or a basketball player or a football player. You're going to have to grow. What you going to do after you get the ring? What are you going to do after you get the Grammy? Yeah. What are we going to do once we hit 1 million subscribers, 1 million followers? Right. Now we're touring the world. Yeah. That's when the problems really come, because it's like, okay, I went through all the trials and tribulations to get to here. Right. And now what? Like, exactly. Yeah. And I feel like that's always going to be growth. Yeah, but I feel like, it's always growth, and it's going to be easier, definitely. Once you get through all that, and get through all the work and all the negative comments and be able to cope, yes, but we're still going to have to do something at the end of the day with our mind. And it's scary. That's the scary part to me. Yeah. That this is never going to end. It's going to get worse from here. Yeah. It's going to get worse. But it's like, with those things getting worse, you're growing from them and you're learning things, like. I can't wait to learn, too. Yeah, like, it's forever a growing and learning experience. Like, it's always forever ongoing. Yeah. So they were basically saying the Pisces is always going to be worrisome, but it's like, that's with everybody. Mm-hmm. You can't just put that on one specific zodiac sign. I think what trips me up, too, is, like, when I talk to my therapist and she's like, your 20s, and that's the time to, like, go through and experience things. And I'm like, I want to have it figured out. Like, I want to have an idea, or I want to know, like, 100%, like, who I am or whatever. But, like, it's like, it takes you walking through this. It takes you experiencing these things. It takes you, that heartache or that finding yourself or whatever. Like, it takes you, all of these, things contribute to who you are and make you who you need to be. And, change is necessary. So don't try to go back to whatever you thought you were. Like, you're changing, you're transforming at this time. It's a dark place, but you're coming into something new, something that's light. So it's never going to be figured out. Yeah. So it's like, you're always becoming. Right. So. Yeah. That's why I've just become a little more observant. Yeah. And I'm not really out there, like, because, don't get me wrong, I'm still social and whatnot, but it's like, I kind of already know what I want out of the campus and out of the social life and out of everything. Mm-hmm. So now I just sit back and I just look and observe, because it's like, I know already. I kind of grew through it. So now it's like, we're growing to find my purpose and growing to find, like, how the hell we're going to get out of here and get something going, you know? Yeah, and that's that thing, too, of, like, like, figuring out, what do you want? Yeah. Basically what you were talking about earlier this week. Like, that's the stage that I'm really at mentally, because it's like... What do you want? Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, your possibility, as long as you have the right mindset, your possibilities are endless, but it takes that one thing to get to where you want. Like, what is your goal? What do you absolutely want? Like, what is it? What is that one thing? And then it's like... Okay, take that one thing and then write out that one thing and those things underneath that one thing that's going to get you to that thing, if that makes sense. Like, whatever that is, you have to write those things out, because there's so many ways that you can be pulled in life in these directions and these tides, pulling you in different directions. And it's easy for you to end up completely far of where you thought that you were going. So if you have this plan written out of what you want exactly out of life, or your end goal, or what you want to accomplish, maybe in, X amount of years, if you have that and you have things behind it, it's it's harder for you to get put off track because you have a plan that you're trying to follow.
And don't get that misconstrued with being limited and having limitations. Right. That's not the thing.
Yeah.
Once you find out what you want to do, if it doesn't work out, that's fine. But you have to start.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how you're going to get there or to start, how are you going to even be successful?
Right.
So it's all a work in progress, and you just have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to figure it out.
And I think that's what those dark times are kind of for, is like, figuring out whatever. Like, all right, cool, I'm in this, dark time, whatever, but like, what exactly do I want? What are my plans that I'm making to pull me out of this dark time? And how am I going to be consistent with this plan so I can get from where I'm already at to
That's why
where
I think a lot of people be switching majors like they do, because it's like they don't really see themselves in that future and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But it's like they don't sit down to actually think about what they actually want to get out of the major or which major is right for them. They just automatically just go somewhere. Okay, well, that's not working out, so let me do this. Mm-hmm. It's like, everything's a process. You have to sit down and figure out what you want, essentially. Like, people kind of just jump through. Yeah. They try to jump through life, because that's kind of how we're taught. Let's be honest. That's kind of what we're taught in these public school systems. Like, if you're not going to get it, go somewhere else, because you have to get it done fast. You have to get it done efficiently at the same time. That's not how life works.
Yeah.
I mean, if it worked like that, everybody would be millionaires when they graduate out here. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I guarantee you those millionaires, people who have already have made it or whatever, have taken the time to reflect and say, what do I want? And they focus on that one thing that they've wanted. So I don't look at my downtime or my out time as a bad time. Sometimes I do. Like I said, when I end up in that dark place of like, what's going on right now, I do end up in that dark place, but I'm looking at this time as time for reflection and that time of readiness before I'm getting to what I actually want. I'm putting the weights on before I start lifting them, basically. Like, I'm figuring out what weights I actually need before I start moving it, in order to gain or build whatever, muscle or whatever, I'm looking at what sizes and combining them and developing that plan before I actually go and hit the gym, so I can know exactly what I want out of life, like my body, what I want out of life. So don't look at your down and out time as a time of, of wasted time. Look at it as a time of preparation for your light, basically. And it'll be all right. I'm walking through it too, so we can walk through it together. But yeah, I just want to touch on that. What do we got for tidbits?
All right, so we have 2 stories, I guess. The first one deals with Eva Marcel. She was on Top Model, but now you're seeing her all on social media, because I guess she's a social media star now. Mm. But she was on The Real maybe today, and basically she was talking about her ex, her very well-known ex. I think he played in the NBA for a couple of years. His name is Kevin McCall. Mm-hmm. And basically he was arrested over some type of conflict they had with each other. But basically... Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Oh. But basically, she changed their daughter's legal last name from his to hers. Now, I think that that's a problem. Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, yes and no. Okay, so what we know the outside, you know what I'm saying?
You know the outside. But if he's a good father and you just don't like him,
yeah.
Because that's the vibes that I get off every time she talks about bruh. Okay, he might be crazy and whatnot, but is he a good father? If he's a good father, then you shouldn't be touching the last name.
Yeah.
But if he isn't, all power to you. I love it. You do what's best for your child. But if he's a good father, don't touch the last name.
Yeah.
That's very disrespectful. You should have thought about it before you had the baby with him, but that's totally different. You know what? Let me shut up. But go ahead.
We don't know what the situation is between her and the father. Like, we could, not... Like, we don't know. We have no idea. So, for us to say, like, it's wrong or it's messed up...
Seems like he's a little crazy.
Okay, so, like, it may be, crazy. Like, okay, if the father's not in her life, then maybe, I can see that. But if he is in her life, it could be a little messed up. She could have questions later, like, why isn't my name why isn't my last name my father's last name? Like, there's so many things that play into this. So really, it's like, what is the relationship between the father and the daughter?
That's
like,
exactly what it
is he involved like that? Is he in her life? Is he present? What type of father is he to her? Changing your last name is nothing today. Like, people can do it like it's like they can pull it out of a bank like an ATM, you know. So like it's really nothing. But when you're in the public eye, you know, those things can be looked at, you know, frowned upon. So it really depends on what type of relationship he has with his daughter. Yeah, so it's just a lot of factors that play into that. So it's all over the place.
Yeah, just like you said, don't nobody know what's going on in their relationship. Yeah. But I mean, I just think it's petty if she's doing it because of all the drama that's going on. Don't use the kid as a pawn. Yeah. I hate seeing that, especially in the YouTube community. Oh, it irks my nerves. Like, it seems like you guys are just having babies to make content. That's not her situation, but, you know, just kind of in regulation with it. Don't use the baby as a pawn. Right. Yeah. And don't have children to salvage your relationship, because that's not the answer either. Yeah. That's my TED Talk. But get out. No. What's the other thing we were going to talk about? T.I. So I think this just came out. I think he said it in his podcast. He goes with his daughter to the doctors. And I guess he asked the doctor about her hymen to see if it's still functioning and there and in check. And yeah, what do you think about that?
I think as a father, you know, concerned about his daughter. This is a crazy world we live in. These are some nasty little young men out here. So I would go too. And I mean, I would like to have a type of relationship with my daughter that, you know, I feel like she would tell me. No, I can't see that. I feel like she would tell me and, you know, like want to talk to me and communicate those things, and I shouldn't have to like go behind her and check. But at the same time, I want to make sure that her health is like, you know, the top priority, and she's, you know, taking care of herself and not out here being fast, you know. She said she's 18, right?
Yeah, she's 18 now. Well, that's what's in her bio on Instagram.
Yeah. So. I think that's a tough thing for any parent. Like, you know, like finding out your child is like having sex, like, you know, you telling your parents, oh yeah, I had sex, and it's like, oh, my baby, you know, like it's, you know.
I feel that, but then again, it's like.
And then we don't know what type of relationship he has with his daughter, you know, so like maybe she got caught in the house with somebody or whatever, you know, like you don't know what type of relationship he has. Like he could be like, oh, I'm gonna check after you because, you know, I don't know what you have going on. Like I said, we don't know the relationship of them, but like there's no telling.
That's just a tough one for me to get over.
Yeah, there's so many.
It's very tough because it's like, yo, just like, but I love that you said that though, because their relationship could be a little misconstrued, and maybe he is actually like really worried. But I don't see her being like that. But then again, we don't know what's going on outside the TV, the reality TV and stuff. Right. But just like you said too, if he trusts her and they have a good enough relationship where she can openly communicate with him, there's no need for that. Yeah. Let's be honest. And even if she decides to go to college, what the hell he gonna do then?
I mean, yeah.
What the hell is he gonna do?
Once you let your kids go to college, let me tell you. Once you let your kids go to college, it's like, you know, like it's like you're letting them off in the wild. Be free, you know. Like it's just like make the best decisions, honey. You know, like you don't. There's no way of like monitoring them and saying, hey,
nope, there isn't.
You know,
and if you did a good job as a parent, and if you instilled the things that you wanted to instill, and you think that they're gonna do what you believe that they're going to do, then let them do that. Or let them make the mistakes that they do. Because, let's be honest, if there's probably a lot of dads out there that's like T.I. Yeah. That's like really in close quarters. You let her go for a little bit, she give her an inch, she's going to take that mile. And it's not no one's fault but yours. Because you just closed in and kept on closing in. And now, all of a sudden, wow, I see this, I see that. I want to try all this stuff because I even have the freedom to even choose if I wanted to. Yeah. And that's just the reality of the situation. It's great that he's being a good father and whatnot, trying to check up on her health. But it's like the hymen, bro. Not to check if she has any STDs, but check her hymen. Yeah. Come on now.
And it could be like, you know, like that could be like, but it depends on, we don't know the relationship that he has with her. So like, you know, her and her mom could be doing that. Which is a
great counter argument. It's a great counter argument. Yeah. We don't really know. Right. But it just seems a little extreme just to see that scrolling on the shade room. T.I. checks his daughter's hymen. What? Yeah.
But this is the world we live in.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's nuts. You got that?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
TJ Child's Play.
What else we got on the shop block?
We're going to talk about one of my favorite sex therapists, Shannon Boudram, again. Yay, Shannon! It's Shannon! So basically, was it an interview? I think they did an interview with somebody, or it might have been on their channel, because they like doing videos like that. Her and her husband. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about how their relationship was before they were married. Mm-hmm. And it was basically an open relationship. But you would think they would be like, oh, wow, okay, it was open. Like, they could just have sex with whoever they wanted to, and da-da-da-da-da. But no. Her husband started to go into detail about what they defined as open. And you know what he said?
What?
Their definition of open is being 100% transparent with each other. Yeah. And she stated that...
So...
Okay, I was going to say
no, go ahead. Yeah, finish.
So she stated that their relationship isn't traced. No, it's art. A relationship should not be the same between different relationships. Follow your heart. That's exactly what she said.
Okay.
Now you can talk.
So basically, it has nothing to do with sex? Or
I mean, their definition of being open was kind of more of a choice. Like, they're choosing to be in the relationship itself, and they're choosing to have one partner. That's what they meant as in being open, not being constrained.
Okay.
You see how they thought about it? It was kind of more of a positively, like, mental note. Right. And then other people see open relationships as everybody's just having sex with other people. It's not just that.
Okay.
That wasn't the focus or the premise of what they were trying to do.
Got it. So what I was gonna say, because about the whole sex part, like Jada, I'm just gonna keep it 100%. We're on TNJ Child's Play here, so we can be honest here on this podcast.
Honest. Be transparent.
Even to this day, bruh, the idea of my ex having sex with somebody else boils my motherfucking blood. Boils my blood. Like, it just does. It just does. Like, I can't imagine it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see the person that you having sex with, because I'm not over it. I'm just not. Let's just be 100%. Okay. So to say that you're sharing somebody with an open relationship, it's not okay with me. It's just not. If you're in a relationship and you're exclusive, y'all are together, people know about each other, there is no open relationship. But people are different. People have different terms. I like the communication. I like the open communication.
That's the thing, though.
I like that.
And that's the reason why.
Them choosing each other. I like that. You know, like exactly. that whole idea of like I don't like the option of.
I think that there's a negative connotation when it comes to different things like this. Like, everybody's just floozies, and they just created this just to say that they can just do that, and they just come together just because that's what they want to do. No, it doesn't have to be like that. I feel like they're trying to flip the narrative, which I think is pretty dope. I think that's dope. Like,
of what
it actually means and what it actually is. Yeah. Like, to me, honestly, I feel like every relationship should be open, not to the sexual part. Mm-hmm. Like, not, I have permission to have sex with whoever I want. No, but like, we should be able to be 100% honest with each other without feeling like we're stepping on each other's toes. Because I feel like half of the relationships, they diminish because of that. Yeah. Like, we should be able to be free. I should be able to tell you whatever issue, whatever topic, whatever's going on, no insecurities, because that shit that builds up, diminishes relationships.
I agree. So I definitely agree with as far as the open relationship, as far as the communication. Like, you know, I'm telling you how I feel, you tell me how you feel. Like, that's any healthy relationship.
Any healthy relationship.
If you feel like you can't talk to your partner or tell them, hey, this is how I feel, without one of you feeling some type of way or feeling offended, you're supposed to be able to step outside yourself and say, okay, here, I'm hearing this person out for how they feel and their emotions, because their emotions and feelings are valid. You know, so yeah, I completely understand and agree with that. But when I hear that, it's good that they're trying to change the definition of open relationship, because when I hear it, the first thing I think of is I go to sex. Like, you being with other people.
That's what the public has made that into. Yeah. And I don't care if it's an interpersonal relationship with your mom, a relationship with anybody who's close to your best friend. Yeah. Like, it should be that way. Yeah. You should be able to say anything. The insecurities should stop. Yeah. No, because you're not going to get anywhere with any of that. Right. You're not going to get anywhere. Facts. So I just think that that's pretty fire.
I agree.
They should really go more into detail about it.
Yeah.
So
write a book.
Yeah. I mean, she's wrote fucking 5 of them.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. But Anything else?
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like I don't even typically agree with that either.
Yeah.
Like just it's weird, but I mean, hey, some people have to go through it.
Yeah.
You have to venture out to figure out if that's what you really want. So it does still make sense. I wouldn't agree with it either personally, but we're talking about that open, not open legs open.
Yeah. I get it. I get it now.
Woo woo. Oh, no.
So we talked about a lot this week. We talked about mental health, bringing it together, keeping it together, you being in a dark place, a dark moment, how to walk through that, some methods, coping methods, and, just about life in general, figuring out your purpose and what you want to do. Like, we talked about a lot. We talked about, what else we talked about? Tidbits. What was T.I.?
Oh, we talking about T.I., even Marcel, craziness, going on, double standards, which I hate. I hate that term.
Double standards.
Oh, it boils my blood, as you say, Dre.
Boils my blood. Nah, nothing boils my blood like that. But we're over that. But it was another great week. I look forward to next week.
Yes, sir.
Let us know what y'all thought about the podcast on that IG and Twitter. TNJ on everything. TNJ every Thursdays at 12 o'clock.
Thursdays are for TNJ. Bye.
Period.
We hope you enjoyed our podcast.
We're here every Thursday with some new
If you have something to say it to my face.
Or let us know on Instagram and Twitter at TNJ's Child's Play.
Make sure you're subscribed to get notified about our podcast.